live amongst your spouse, live amongst nje phila phakathi kwabo, let them do the talking for you.
I think if to add on that, I think what is also important, Mamdo, is that when you are really now modeling the walk of Christ, there's a verse here in the Word of God. It said, I think the people who wanted to see Jesus Christ, and then they spoke to Philip, and they said to him, Philip, we want to see Jesus. So Mama Madlala was preaching about that verse the other time. She said, people said, Philip, we want to see Jesus. And then she said, can people see Jesus in you? She said, because these people were asking Philip, can we see Jesus? Now, not talking about seeing Jesus as Jesus come, someone wants but she said, seeing Jesus as, can we see him in your character? Can we see him in your behavior? Can you really show us Jesus Christ when things are not going the way you want? When people have kindly up your name, when people have caused you, when made you to be angry, when you have, when there's all chaos around you, can people see Jesus in you? Because when they can see Jesus in you, Jesus was able to calm the storms. Jesus was not a negative person. He was able to calm the storms. He was one person who would come in the room and there will be peace in the room. It doesn't matter the chaos, but when he shows up, there'll be peace. So can people see Jesus in you? Can you do that to some people or to situations where when you come in, everyone will be like, wow, at least so-and-so walked in. Now we're going to have some peace. Because some are, I'm telling you, they are Christians, they can preach, but if there's a fire, they can only bring petrol. They can only bring petrol. If there's fire, they can only bring petrol. They won't bring anything else. You just know, if I want this fire to really burn, I'll call so-and-so.
Yes, you and
yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And because, my families come out going to go my family feuds, obana bangenelelo bani, obana baika mamngano, obana baika malume. But when as a Christian, you cannot take sides. And that's the good
platform. To take sides. Yes.
You know what? I understand when I'm
yes.
But
go to that auntie that your mother doesn't want you to see. Go to that cousin that your other brothers or sisters don't want you to. Go to them because you are saying to them, I can only unite people. I'm not here to divide you guys. I can only unite you. So if you feel that you don't want to talk to so-and-so, well, I'm not going to take your part. I want to talk to them, because they have not wronged me in any way. Even if they did wrong me, I still have to model their work as well. So I think, Mamdo, it really does touch me very much. The fact that we now are in a business of preaching more and living less.
Nokuthi abantu abangakholwa, they know ukuthi uMzalwane ekuthe kanjani.
Oh, they know perfectly.
They know very well. So
yeah, they know very well. So they know very well. They might take your side when you are angry because they don't want to anger you more. But when they are by themselves, they say, oh, but she's Umzalwane. She was not supposed to say it like that. Because they know how you're supposed to be acting. I think sometimes when we are faced with situations, when people sympathize with us so much that we forget our ground, that we forget who we are because of the sympathy that we're getting from people. But we're forgetting the fact that even if they can sympathize with your situation, you still have to walk the talk. I always say it like that. Walk the talk. Baba Gita said something. I was listening to one of his sermons, and he said, the character of Christ must remain as it is in spite of anything and everything that is going on in your life. Whether it be negative or positive, I'm paraphrasing it. Whether it be negative or positive, the character of Christ must remain as it is. So which means nothing should change me from being a child of God. Nothing should change me in every way. Nothing should change me. So when I'm starting to change, that means something's wrong in my Christianity, which it happens a lot.
So it shouldn't change, be it nemali, noma senginayo, ngimpofu, ngiphakeme, whatever the case might be, ngishonelwe, ngiyacelebrate, it should just remain the same.
It should remain the same.
It should not be changed by our situation.
It should remain the same, yes.
Because the God that I serve, He remains the same.
It should remain the same.
Okay.
Oh yeah. She said okay.
Let's see.
Don't worry about it. It's our thing here in the studio. Yeah, so it should remain the same.
Should remain the same. So it's important ukuthi how we live, even nasemsebenzini.
Is it fine now?
It must be fine.
Ukuthi you know, like emsebenzini kunaka ukuthi kuba nama groups and kuba nama conversations abakhona ukuthi sometimes we need to be careful ukuthi how we answer, how we actually contribute kulawa, because it's kulula nje ukukhuluma noma kanja njengabo bonke abantu, but we dinga siqaphela ukuthi you know what, ngiyakholwa bangibhekile futhi ukuthi mina how do I actually act in this type of situation, noma ngabe kunani, whatever storms, whatever issues that are there, let it not leave my mind ukuthi ngiyakholwa. I need to actually demonstrate Christ when everything is said and done. Mengabe kubheka isimo esibekhona makuvele isum total at the end mayithi uyakholwa. Whatever happened, whatever you know, ukukhuluma ingxabano akuvele ukuthi ngiyakholwa. So if we could have that at the back of our mind, even when we resolve inkinga, be it even nasemshadweni ukuthi noma kuthiwa ni face whatever situation that you might have faced, but remember ukuthi yokusala siyakholwa. That should never be ukuthi ngingene ngikholwa noma ukukholwa kungificele emshadweni.
That should be the center and the focal point of whatever situation that you face.
So whatever happens, whatever noma ngabe kuthiwa siphuma sinjani sigudluzane kanjani siqhuzulane kanjani, but
at the end of the day
akuphuma abazalwane abantu abakholwayo who can actually say ukuthi sisinqobile kulesi.
Yeah, we've been through that, but we overcome.
Ashintshanga izimo. And the impact it's in those little, when we decide to live out ukholwa, and we constantly seek ukuthi because am I in your will, do I walk, that's how we will make impact. Because ngeqiniso sometimes we will never know, it's only mhlawumbe sowadlula emhlabeni where people will start coming forth and saying ukuthi usibani bani.
You know what, it's funny that you said that. There's a young man there in Pastor Post's funeral. At the end, I think that's the young man that really did shake all of us with his comments and all that. He said something that was very unique. He said, some of the things that our pastor said were never realized when he was alive. But now that he's dead, he says, we're going to see those things. Remember that comment. He said, now we're going to see those things come to life. You know, so I was like, wow, this is a bold statement, and it's a very big and a mature statement from this young man. Because really, some of the things that we pastors can preach about and comment and say prophetically, some of them you won't see them in our own, you know, lifetime. Some of them will only, you guys, when you are left behind, only you then will say, wow, Pastor did say this, Pastor did say this, because now that the seed is in the ground, more fruits are coming.
And the fact with the time when usakhona, let's just make an example. If mfundisi or baba esakhona, people tend to relax and they depend kakhulu kumfundisi. It just happens.
Well, it's a normal
thing that happens. But when he is gone, then there's a shifting. You know what? Uhambile. Look at this food, and nama teachings okade ubanikeza ngasosade bengawanalo isikhathi sakhona, but only when you gone there because ngiyakhumbula ethi.
Yeah, one pastor did say that too. I don't know whether it was Bishop Twala or Sky, but some of the pastors said, you know, your father's teachings will be even more important and more relevant now that he's gone.
Then they learn to then depend. Then there's a shifting.
Then take the teachings and let you depend on God.
Which you know, we have to. We have to grow. We have no other choice but to grow. We have no other. Then again, that's when you begin to see the fruit, because they've been shaken. You know. We comfort zones, and then comes the situation. Then suddenly moves us
really
out of our comfort zone, and we begin to realize, in another way, which has obtained, impilo is not what I thought it was. Because there's a shifting, then it causes you to say, let me walk my walk, because you've seen his walk wabona ukuthi impact ayenzile, then you say I want to have an impact nami ngeyami.
You know, I think Mamdo sometimes just making a follow up on that. I think sometimes when the pastor is still alive, there's a tendency of you don't say we believe in the pastor, but somewhere you tend to lean on the pastor. You know, you must say no. I mean, I don't need any pastor. You know, I'm strong. No, but there is because there are times where you say, you know what, I wish pastor was here. He would maybe say something. You know, these brothers and sisters that lost their father, a spiritual father. You know, my heart goes out to them because now when they're faced with situations, maybe it would happen that one time they're like, let me call him for this, and then realize, oh, by the way, there's no more there, you know. And then they'll reach situations when they say, if he was here.
Yeah. And remember, just if we take a situation here, they are coming from a storm, a very big storm,
a very huge one,
and they don't have
they
don't have lo muntu abalindele ukuzokhuluma amazwi ukuthi you know what, we'll cope through the storm, sizodlula kulesi storm. So now they have to find a way to navigate kule simo abayithola bekuso ukuthi lo muntu okade ezosikhuthaza athi le mpilo izodlula. Yes, athi le mpilo, because abanye they ngenza ukuthi there were rumors before, whatever talks were there, whatever, but they knew ukuthi when we get Sunday uzokhuluma nje kudlule, whatever the case might be. So now coming out of this whole big storm, and akekho umuntu ozokhuluma akhulume comfort words to give us strength.
Yeah, you know, in fact, Ma'am, it's not even just one storm. It was the storm of Corona. You know, we were out there was no church, and we had just started church, right? And even started church, he could not have more than 50, right? So that means he saw some, and some he hasn't seen since there was a lockdown, right? And then there's a storm about all of these rumors that were, you know, moving around. You know, that dark cloud that was covering, you know, his death. So now they've got the storm of Corona, the lockdown. They've got the storm now, you know, that led to their pastor's passing. They still have to navigate through all of that.
They have a storm of the unknown, because
they have the storm of the unknown.
Should I stay? Should I leave? What's going to happen? Because now, noma ngabe kuthosha whichever way.
No, it was normal.
Yes, what's going to happen?
Exactly.
You know, so there's a lot of my biggest cry was for them. You know what? What's going on?
That's the thing. You know, that's the thing, Mom. Let me be honest on that.